Okay, this question is find the center and the radius of the sphere described by the equation. This is simply the completing a square. So completing a square is when you see it like 6x, 8y minus 4z, you divide the value by 2 and then square it. So basically what you do is x plus 6 divided by 2 is 3, so it's going to be x plus 3 squared plus y squared plus 8y, 8 divided by 2, y plus 4, and then you square the value, plus z squared minus 4z minus 4 divided by 2, negative 2, z minus 2 squared, and then we have plus 4 equals 0. So since when you write these equations, this will become x squared plus 6x plus 9 plus y squared plus 8y plus 16 plus z squared minus 4z plus 4 equals 0. This is not equal to this equation, right? So what you do is rewrite this equation. So x plus 3 squared plus y plus 4 squared plus z minus 2 squared is equal to, we have the plus 4 and you just move that into the other side, negative 4 plus this plus 9 and plus 16 from the above equation, and then plus 4 from the above equation. And this will make negative 4 and 4 cancels out, and this becomes 25, and x plus 3 squared plus y plus 4 squared plus z minus 2 squared. Now you see there's a center for negative 3, negative 4, and 2. That's this one. And the radius squared is 25, so r is 5. So the answer for this question is D. Okay, so this question asks find 5b minus 2a absolute value or magnitude. Okay, so we are given a value and b value. Let's write 5b value first. 5b is 5 times 1 to negative 2 vector. So this is 5, 10, negative 10, and negative 2a. Let's find that. Negative 2 times 2, 1, negative 3. This will give you negative 4, negative 2, 6. And you add those values together. So 5, 10, negative 10, plus negative 4, negative 2, 6. This becomes 1, 8, and negative 4. And if you want to find the absolute value slash magnitude, it's square root of square each value of the component. So this becomes 1 plus 64, plus 16. And this is square root of 81, and that's equal to 9. So the answer for this question is D. Okay, so this question is find the values of x such that the two vectors are orthogonal. When it says it's orthogonal, that means dot product is equal to 0. So for x, x3 dot 2x comma 5 equals 0. So if you want to find the dot product, you just multiply each component. 8x plus x squared plus 15 equals 0. X plus 5, x plus 3 equals 0, and x equals negative 5 and negative 3. And that's equal to A. Okay, this question asks A equals 3i minus 3k and B equals I minus j, and it's asking the scalar projection of A onto B. The scalar projection of A onto B, so comp A, comp B, is equal to A dot B over B magnitude. So let's find the A dot B value. A dot B is equal to 3i, 3, 0, negative 3, times 1, negative 1, 0. So this just becomes 3. This is not the vector 3. 0 times negative 1 is 0, and negative 3 times 0 is 0. So it's just 3. So there we go, we have a 3. And then we want to find the vector B magnitude. This is just square rooting each component and then the square root. So I squared 1 squared plus negative 1 squared. So this just becomes square root of 2. So it's just 3 over square root of 2 So the answer is A. Okay, this question asks if A equals 2, 0, 1 and B equals 3, 1, 1 and C is the cross product of A and B, what is C2? Okay, let's do cross product. So vector C is vector A cross product B. So what you do is I, J, K, and then write 2, 0, 1. That's A. B is 3, 1, 1. And what you do is write the determinant. So for the I component, this will be 0, 1, 1, 1 minus, we have to put minus sign for the J, and then 2, 1, 3, 1 J plus 2, 0, 3, 1 K, and then you do cross multiply, so 0 times 1 is 0, minus 1 I minus 2 minus 3 J plus 2 minus 0 K. This becomes negative I minus plus J plus 2K, and it's asking the C2 value. This is C2 value, and that's just 1. So the answer is C. Okay, this question asks find the area of the parallelogram with vertices of those 4 points. So let's draw the parallelogram first. So A and B, C, D. A is 0, 0, 0, B is 1, 0, 1, C is 2, 1, 0, and D is 3, 1, 1. So when you say the area of the parallelogram, it's asking the cross product of the two sides. You can choose any sides, but for me, I'm going to use AB and AC. So vector AB would be just 1, 0, 1. Vector AC would be just 2, 1, 0. So if you do the cross product of those values, let's write that I, J, K, 1, 0, 1, 2, 1, 0. This just becomes 0, 1, 1, 0 I minus 1, 2, 1, 0 K, J, sorry, plus 1, 2, 0, 1 K. So this just becomes negative I minus 0 minus 2 minus 2J plus 1 K. So this becomes negative I plus 2J plus K. And when you want to find the area of the parallelogram, you're finding the absolute value. So A equals cross product of vector ABAC and the magnitude. So this is just square root up and square root of the squared values of each component. So this becomes negative 1 squared plus 2 squared plus 1 squared. So this just becomes square root of 6. So the answer for this question is C. Okay, this question asks find the area of the region bounded by the curves. Let's draw the curves first. So okay, y equals x squared minus 4x. So there's 0 and there's 4, and it's looking like this. And then y equals negative 2x, so it's like this. And they want to find the area. Area is simply the heights of the curves. So negative 2x is here, and negative y equals x squared minus 4x is right there. And the region is bounded by those two lines, and the height is this line, right? So that height is simply, so the bigger radius, bigger height, negative 2x minus x squared minus 4x dx, integrating, and then we want to find the intersection point to find this point and that point. And in order to find the intersection point, you set those two equal to each other. So negative 2x equals x squared minus 4x. This becomes x squared minus 2x equals 0. 0 equals x minus 2. So the intersection points are 0 and 2. And we are integrating from 0 to 2. So if you rewrite this as 0 to 2, negative 2x minus x squared plus 4x dx. And this is the same as 0 to 2, negative x squared plus 2x dx. If you integrate it, negative x cubed over 3 plus x squared from 0 to 2, negative 8 over 3 plus 4. And this just becomes 4 over 3. So the answer for this question is B. Okay, this question is find the area of the region bounded by y equals x and x equals y squared minus 2y. So, okay, let's draw the curves first. Y equals x is looking like this, right? And x equals y squared minus 2y. So it's going to be 0 here and 2 here, and it's looking like this curve. And it's the region bounded by here. Okay, so same logic. You just have to find the height, and then you just integrate it for the area. So the height is here, and the bigger height is like y. Y is the bigger height, right? Because this is this much. It's simply this line. So this one is much further down to the right, so that's the bigger height. And then this one is behind y equals x, so that's gonna be the smaller height. So bigger height minus smaller height, which is y squared minus 2y dy. I don't know, you notice if you draw a graph and you see like x equals y squared minus 2y, that possibly means you have to integrate by dy. And it's integrating from 0 to 2 because it's 0 and 2, right? So it's from 0 to actually, let's just check that. It might not be 0 to 2. So let's write y equals x and x equals y squared minus 2y equal to each other. So it's going to be y equals y squared minus 2y, and it's going to be y squared minus 3y equals 0. 0 equals y minus 3, y is 0 and 3. Oh, I wasn't right. So the intersection point was 0 to 3. Okay, so you have to find the intersection points, not just assume like me. So area is 0 to 3, y minus y squared minus 2y dy. If you rewrite this equation, it's from 0 to 3, y minus y squared plus 2y dy, and it's from 0 to 3, 3y minus y squared dy. This becomes 3y squared over 2 minus y cubed over 3, integrating from 0 to 3. And this just becomes 27 over 2 minus 9, right? And this just becomes 9 over 2. So the answer for this question is D. Okay, we have this question. The area between the graphs of y equals x squared and y equals 2x revolve around the x-axis. And it says we are using the disquasher method. So let's draw the curves first. Y equals x squared, like this, and y equals 2x, like this. So if it's bounded by those two curves, this is like this area, and it's revolving around the x-axis. Okay, so, and we want to find the volume of it. So whenever you say disquasher method, it's basically the same as bigger radius squared minus smaller radius squared. So in here, if you look at it, this line is y equals 2x. So bigger radius in this case is 2x, and smaller radius in this case is this curved line, right? This makes the smaller radius, so smaller radius is x squared, right? So the volume for the disquasher method is pi, and integrated from some point. So it's bigger radius squared 2x squared minus x squared dx. And we want to find the integration points. On what should we do? We should just set it equal to each other. So x squared, oh boy, there we go. X squared equals to x squared minus 2x equals 0, x minus 2 equals 0, x equals 0 to 2. So it's integrating from 0 to 2. Okay, pi 0 to 2, 2x squared is 4x squared minus x to the fourth power dx. And you should just find the same one that's equal to this one. So that's just E. So the answer for this question is just E. Okay, this question asks the area between the graphs, and it is revolve around the x-axis, and it already says it's using a cylindrical shell. Okay, and if you also look at the answer choices, this is all dy. So you have to change this into x equals plus minus square root of y, and this equals x equals y over 2. let's draw the curves now. So x equals y over 2 is here, x equals y over 2, and it's like this, looking like x equals plus square root of y and x equals negative square root of y, but there's nothing like intersecting to each other in this left side, so I'm not going to care about x equals negative square root of y. So all we need to care about is x equals y over 2 and x equals square root of y. And it says it's using the cylindrical shell and it's dy. Okay, so the volume for this equation is 2 pi something dy. And we have to find the radius and height. Let's find the height first. Height is basically this much line minus this line. So the bigger height is x equals square root of y, and the smaller height is this line, minus y over 2. So we have the height, and the radius is just simply like this line, you know, the revolving around the x-axis. So simply it's just y. So this just becomes y square root of y minus y over 2. Okay, and we need to find the intersection point. What should we do? We set it equal to each other. So what you do is square root of y equals y over 2, and 2 square root of y equals y. Square on both sides, this just becomes 4y equals y squared minus 4y equals 0, y minus 4. So it's from 0 to 4. And let's just find that's equal to each other. Okay, so 2 pi y square root 2 minus y over 2y. So that's just equal to b. So the answer for this question is b. Okay, it says what value of the positive constant c makes the volume of the solid obtained by retaining the area between x equals 0, y equals e to the 2x, and x equals c about the x-axis equal to pi. So it's the same logic, it's just going a little backward. Let's draw the curves first. Y equals e to the 2x, x equals 0 here, this line, x equals c. So that's the region bounded by. I'm gonna use the dishwasher method. If you wanna use something else, you could. I think it's the easiest way to do it for now. So dishwasher method is bigger radius squared minus smaller radius squared, right? So bigger radius is e to the 2x. So bigger radius squared is this, 2. Okay, let's do that. And then smaller radius, there's no smaller radius. So it's gonna be just 0 squared dx. And we're integrating from x equals 0 to x equals c. So it's gonna be 0 to c. So it's gonna be 0 to c, e to the 4x dx. And if you rewrite this, e to the 4x over 4, 0 to c, and that should equal 2 pi. Oh, I'm so sorry. We should write the pi on both sides. Okay, let me go back. Okay, so this question, like, we have all those, right, those components for the integral, right? And then what you do in the dishwasher method, I forgot pi. And it also, I forgot that we are given the volume is pi. So you said equals pi integrand. And pi can be canceled out because they're both pi on both sides. So it's going to be 1 equals 0 to c e to the 4x dx. And this just becomes e to the 4x over 4, integrating from 0 to c, and this should equal to 1. Let's rewrite here. E to the 4c over 4 minus e to the 0 over 4 equals 1, e to the 4c over 4, negative 1 over 4 equals 1, e to the 4c over 4 is equal to 5 over 4. Cool. And then I'm going to pass that 4 to the other side. E to the 4c is equal to 5. And then in order to cancel out e, I'm going to put ln. ln both sides. 4c equals ln 5. And then c, then it should be equal to 1 over 4 ln 5 because I divide 4 on both sides. So, okay. So c is equal to 1 over 4 ln 5. So the answer for this question is E. So this question asks if the cross section of level C is greater than or equal to 0 and is a square root of side, square root of 2 minus d, what is the volume of the strange period? So volume of the cross section is same as cross section area. This is supposed to be cross. Sorry, my handwriting is bad. And we are given it's the square root of 2 minus c. So the area of this thing is square root of 2 minus c squared dz. And its height is 2, so that makes it as a upper interval as 2 and lower as 0 to 2. So 0 to 2 minus z dz. If you integrate this, just 2z minus z squared over 2, integrating from 0 to 2. This just becomes 4 minus 2 equals 2. So the answer for this question is A.